And we're back. Our Hopestone anyways. Excellent. Before we get started, we did get a $5 donation from Anonymous, so thank you very much. But with that, Monado, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, what's up, guys? This is Luigi's Mansion 3. I will talk about it as the run is going because there's quite a bit of loading. So let's go ahead and get started. So 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so yeah, anyways, this is Luigi's Mansion 3, and I heard that there was a donation incentive met, so we get to pet the good boy right here, this boy right here, Polterpop. We can't pet him yet. We can pet him once we're in the hotel room. But this run is roughly around 2.5 hours to 40 minutes, so starting off right here to go pet Polterpop, we're gonna go into the bathroom. He's gonna appear right here. Little Poppy. I'll pet him a couple of times for you guys. Because you guys did pay for it, so why not? Alright, well, we'll see him quite a few times throughout the run, but that's the only time we're gonna be able to pet him. He is laying up on the bed with us right now, asking if it's bedtime, and it is. So right now, I am skipping a lot of cutscenes, so you may not be able to get the gist of the story going on right now, but essentially, Luigi and friends, Mario, Peach, Toads, whatever, they were all brought to this hotel as like a free trip. You know, the whole, from the original game, Luigi won a free mansion. And kind of takes over the same story as that, but it's more of a hotel retreat this time around. And in the middle of the night, you hear Peach scream, so Luigi goes ahead and tries to investigate in both Mario and Peach's rooms until the elevator starts moving, and we're gonna make our way over there, which is going to start a chase sequence with our boy King Boo. But, you know, since Luigi's kind of defenseless right now, he is going to have to make his way around all this stuff and run away from him. It's actually one of the only times you actually encounter King Boo in this game without the Poltergust, so this is kind of unique. And where else do you go but down the laundry chute? And that's kind of our intro to the story right there. There's also another main antagonist called Helen Gravely, but she's honestly not all too important. But if I'm gonna be completely honest with you, she's really not important just as much as King Boo. You only really encounter them at the very end of the game anyway. But basically, Helen set King Boo free. That's how he got out of his portrait this time. He didn't just mysteriously pop out like he did in the second game. But right here, you're going to notice that I'm holding down the ZR trigger to kind of sidestep. That's actually a little bit faster to do since we don't have our running speed yet. Luigi also tends to get scared by every single object in this game. And there's Polterpop. He's got some donuts on his face. And right here, we're going to be walking through the garage over to Egad's car, which he hasn't been presented in the story yet. Because, you know, where else do you put the Poltergust but inside where your engine is? And right here, we're going to go ahead and be doing the tutorial with Polterpop. He's going to be teaching us on how to use the Poltergust. He's a little test dummy right now. You may notice that I was bursting a lot after I was using the strobe bulb there. That actually skips a little bit of an animation and progresses the tutorial a little bit faster. So now that we had the Poltergust, Luigi's at his full running speed because he's not as scared as he was before. But you also may notice, whenever I'm going towards any door in this game, I'm always going to approach where the door handle is. That's because if you just get close to the door, Luigi's going to do a very, very slow walk towards the handle anyway. So I'm going to use his running speed as far as possible. And we're just going to go up here, up to floor 1, burst this trash can out of the way. Again, going over the door at the door handle. What a surprise. And coming up in the main foyer, we're gonna come across our first ghost. And we are literally going to crap out of them. Yes, QB, I can see chat. Yeah, these are our first type of ghosts. They are goobs. And as you can see in this game, not only do we suck them up, but we slam them to death. Right here, you're going to notice I am going to pull them directly up this way and start slamming. That way I'm standing inside of a cutscene trigger, and I don't have to walk forward into it. Right here, Polterpelt's basically just telling you, oh, go under here, there's a key if you couldn't see it. And come up here when you've got it. And now that we got that key, we're just gonna make our way up to the boy. And there's IckaAid. He has actually been abducted this time around. So it's our mission to save him right now, so he can help us out later. But unfortunately, we have no way of helping him right now. But apparently Polterpelt knows exactly where his tools are at. Right here, I'm gonna flash this strobe bulb light thing, reaction object inside the mirror. You can see it in the mirror right now. Kind of a hint to show you that it's there. A lot like the first game where you have to press that button that's shown in the mirror in that one room to have the wall pushed back. But I digress. This is going to be our next fight with some goobs. I'm gonna walk over to the left side, flash both of them at the same time, and just pull them towards me. You also may notice that if you play this game casually, I am slamming the ghosts much faster than what the average casual player may notice. You press the A button immediately after the ghost hits the ground, you can get up to 5 slams instead of the normal 4, which is actually fully intended, by the way, because later in the game, you get an upgrade called Super Suction, which gives you 2 extra slams if you do those perfect A presses, which is actually an achievement. You get an achievement for it, so it must be intended, right? Right? Yeah, must be intended. But yeah, we grabbed the dark light, which allowed us to pull IckaAid out of the painting, and now we're gonna go ahead and make our way back down to the garage where the rest of his equipment is inside of his vehicle. We can see IckaAid's dorky little run here. Right there, I ran into the trash can and bursted it just so it would break instantly, opposed to flying up in the air. Oh shoot, my battery's low. That's not very good. I'll grab my controller charger in a second. As a little gag here, we don't really like IckaAid very much, so we're just gonna leave him. Yeah, man. Thanks for the good luck. But you know what? He wanted to come anyway, so he'll just teleport to us. Anyways, we got our first boss here. I'm gonna flash him, pull him towards me, then I'm gonna slam him to the bottom of the screen. Burst, flash again, and I'm gonna pull him towards this light, pull off at least 100 HP, and I'm going to try to position myself in an exact spot where I can grab these elevator buttons, skip the victory animation. Hopefully I'm standing in the right spot. I might not be, though. Nope, I'm about a couple of pixels off. It's unfortunate. It's okay, though. It only takes a couple of seconds. But you can have those buttons land directly on Luigi's head, which saves a little bit of time. There's a couple of instances where you could do the same thing later on for a lot of other bosses, but for whatever reason, I feel like this game was programmed in different sections, or it was split between different teams, because those elevator button cutscene skips are not consistent at all. sometimes the button will just bounce off of Luigi's head if you try to stand next to it. It'll bounce next to him, or it'll just skip the cutscene entirely. Which is really odd. You kind of think that they'd want to have the same amount of, you know, the same coding throughout the entire thing, but whatever. IckaAid just gave us our form of communication in this game, which is the Virtual Boo. If you're familiar with the other games, he gave us the Game Boy Horror in the first game, and then the Dual Scream in the second game, and now we have the Virtual Boo. And our main objective here, actually, is to locate all the elevator buttons and make our way all the way up to floor 15. That's how they sectioned off this game. So, while it may feel like one full hotel that's not sectioned off at all, this elevator actually acts as a loading zone, loading screen. Which is really, really neat, if you ask me. They did a really good job hiding this and making it seem as fluid as possible. And yeah, that's B1. So normally, when you go to B1, instead of going up to floor 1, you go up to floor 5, of course. But first off, we have to go ahead and check out the IckaAid hotline. It's just basically like a little tutorial thing that he wanted you to check out, and I'm gonna grab my charger while this elevator cutscene is playing.
Alright, while we have a minute. Oops, I was on the right tab a second ago. So we have 2 donations. Pet the Pup again from Crunchy. I'll see if I can make that happen, but I think that's just an early gameplay thing.
What was that?
We'll try. We got a donation to say Pet the Pup again, and we'll see if that can happen, but I'm not sure if that's a bit out of the way.
That is a little bit out of the way. Sorry, voice crack. That is a little bit out of the way.
Maybe if we're underestimating a lot.
What was that?
Maybe if we're enough underestimating. We'll make it happen.
Maybe I'll boot up another file afterwards. Hello. We can do it then. Depending on how long the run takes.
There you go. And then Poker Bakawari, I hope I got that right. Shenanigans is 151 at SGDQ 2015 was one of the first runs I've ever watched years before running myself. I absolutely have to catch it here, and that will be coming later. But thank you for the donation.
Nice. Thank you for the donation. Good to hear. Alright, well, we got our next set of ghosts here. They're dressed up as being made. I'm going to slam that one ghost into the top one there. Then I'm going to hopefully... Yep, there we go. I wanted to have Luigi drag himself into the one that was already laying on the floor. So that way I could yank myself all the way across the room and then kill them on this side. Now hopefully I'll grab this set of 3. Very nice. You may also notice before I was holding out my plunger. That actually skips Luigi's victory animation whenever he clears a room. That overrides it. It takes priority, is what I should say. Right here, we have our next boss, Chambrea. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a plunger on her, slam her into the corner, and hopefully re-grab her. Yep, okay. Nice. That was a solid fight. That can kind of mess up quite often if you don't have her in the correct spot. But essentially, the plunger in this game is very, very wonky. It's only supposed to charge all the way up if the string at the end of the plunger is fully pulled out. But if you have it kind of pushed into the corner, it's a little janky. So I slammed her into the corner repeatedly until she, you know, popped into the vacuum. Normally, if you don't do that, she's gonna go ahead and go through all of those rooms along that back wall. But yeah, that's floor 5. It's a nice little exploit to use on that fight because it saves a significant amount of time. It even skips some IckaAid dialogue because after you walk out of that room, after she gets away, you will actually, yeah, you'll actually have to listen to some IckaAid text, which, you know, takes a little bit of time as well. But we're going back down to B1 because our whole reason to go, we're going up to floor 5 was to get IckaAid's briefcase, not his suitcase, so we could get our new goo friend, Luigi. But we don't know that yet. Basically, Luigi is the gateway into breaking this game, is all I'm gonna say. Essentially, right here, you're gonna see this cage. But you know what? Why listen to the laws of physics? And let's just go straight through the cage. You know, sounds like a good idea. Luigi himself is also made of goo, as you can see. That was like the most minor instance of Luigi pushing, which is what that trick is called. So basically, whenever you're standing in the corner with Luigi and he's using the poltergeist, his eyes are at the time open, since he is using the poltergeist. Normally when you switch between Luigi and Luigi, the other character is not going to be active at all. But since you're using Luigi there, his eyes are going to be open. Normally they're closed. But during that instance, we can actually flash him, which kind of spooks him, and gives him some sort of weird collision. I don't even know how I'd explain that. But essentially, in dumb words, flash Luigi, push him, he goes through objects. That's basically what it boils down to. And right here we have floor 3, the hotel shops. We're gonna make our way over to the right here, going into the men's bathroom. And on the right side stall, we're gonna pull down the door, which is gonna house a key inside of it. The other door has like a little gagged stuffed animal of a goob ghost in there. That actually kind of spooks Luigi when you pull off that door. So right there, that cutscene was an introduction to the boss of this area, which is Crawler. He's the mall security of the area. Oh yeah! Yeah. And right here, I'm actually going to be doing 2 cutscene skips. By walking around the trigger. So I'm gonna hug this escalator wall right here, skipping that one. Then I'm gonna place Luigi into the middle of the next one and just walk around it. So normally right there, what would normally happen is Luigi or Luigi would just hold the key up because there's patterns on the wall to indicate like which key goes where. And right now, I'm just going to go ahead and pull this ghost out of hiding. Slam him where the next one is going to spawn. Flash this guy, get them both at the same time, and pull myself across to the left side of the room. Hopefully standing in a good spot to grab the key. No, okay. If you're standing in a good spot, the key will just fling straight into Luigi and skip his victory animation. But unfortunately, I was not in a good spot. This whole area is basically a tutorial for Luigi, because Luigi can't really do much throughout these areas here, since it's completely covered off by these bars. And we have our first introduction to mini goobs coming up, which, if you ask me, are entirely pointless. I do not see why they need to add these to the game. You will see that in just a moment as to why I think that. I'm just gonna suck at these coins until they pop out from this chest here. All his friends. But they're just so easy. Watch them. I'm gonna flash the bottom pair here, suck them up, go off to the right, and then suck up the rest. That's it. Like, what was the need for them to add these? They don't pose any sort of threat to you. But whatever. Nintendo does what they do. Alright, right here I'm going to hold out the Dark Light, because we're going to have our first instance of these Spirit Orbs, which hide objects to the naked eye. You can't see them, unless if you shine your Dark Light on them. If I hold out my Dark Light there, it'll actually start to have the register appear during the cutscene. That saves a couple of seconds. And also right here, we're gonna have our first instance of Ghost wearing some sort of object on their face to, you know, hide Luigi or Gooigi's flash. But I'm going to immediately burst, knock those sunglasses off his face, and then just flash him. So I'm sorry, buddy, your glasses didn't help you out too well. Flash these guys, burst again, flash him, suck him up. And I'm going to immediately swap to Luigi after defeating them, walk over to the escalator to override the victory animation with this escalator cutscene instead. I'm gonna walk down here with Luigi, let him ride down the escalator while I get Luigi in place. And then we're gonna open this this scissor door thing here with both Luigi and Luigi. Reveal this cash register, and then once again suck up the Spirit Orbs. And this is our last key. Very good. And right here we also have our first introduction to hammers, which are the large square ghosts. I'm also going to ignore that key. You may notice that there was an autosave prompt when I walked directly next to it. Well, the game kind of intends for you to grab the key and then that'll activate, but instead they just put it next to the key. So Luigi's gonna get spooked, and while I'm waiting for the hammer to come down the escalators, I'm just gonna grab this key right now. And I'm gonna flash him, go behind him, because you can't pull on him. I'm gonna slam him twice into the ground, and I'm gonna pull off some more HP all the way down until he's just barely under 100. And apparently I mistimed my slams there. It's a little slow, but it's okay. And once again, I'm gonna hold out my plunger, just going up this escalator to skip the victory animation. If you guys recall, let's just skip that real fast. You can skip all his cutscenes with the minus button, except when you're in his lab, you can't skip those. And right here, we also have another boss regrab coming up here. I'm gonna pull his glasses off, slam him exactly 4 times into Luigi's vacuum pole. And he's gonna get stuck. I'll burst him, flash him, and then start sucking him up again. But surprisingly, it only saves like 30 seconds, opposed to just doing it normally. Good fight. That actually almost landed right on Gooichi. Alright, now we're just gonna have Gooichi walk through these bars, and then I'm just gonna steal it from him. Just steal the elevator key, elevator button. Make our way to floor 2. Yeah, that's how numbers work, right? You go from B1 to 5 to 3 to 2. Right, that's how it works. I'm pretty sure that's how counting works. Alright, and as you can see, Luigi just doesn't happen to learn. Every time he holds out this elevator button, it flings out of his hand. He does the same thing for every elevator cutscene. The same thing. He's surprised by it every time. Hey, come on, man. The last one was only 10 minutes ago. How'd you forget already? Yeah, this is honestly one of the nicest looking Switch games, if you ask me. They did such a great job with the lighting in this game, which makes it pop so well. And right here we got Polterpup once more. He's sniffing at some stinky cheese. He wanted some. He just took it, run through the door. He's a good boy. And right now we're gonna go ahead and make our way into the dining room, which we're going to go ahead and fight a lot of goobs. And when I mean a lot, I mean like 10 all at the same time. You're gonna see me do this flash and bowl strat with the goobs coming up here to try to pull a lot of them all in at once onto one tether. I'm gonna place Luigi so they get attracted to him as well. Flash. Start pulling them over. Flash again. Just have them all attached to the end of my vacuum. These goobs are a force to be reckoned with. Ah, shoot. This is a little slow. They have no clue where the rest of it went. There's one more somewhere. Yeah, I got hit by one of the goobs, which kind of messed everything up there. But you know what? It's okay. It happens. At the end of the world. And right here we have our boy, Chef Souffle. I am going to immediately have Luigi walk over there, get hit, shoot him with that pumpkin, and I'm going to flash him with Luigi. And immediately start slamming him into the stove. So that's actually going to do more damage to him if I slam him into the stove. With every other hit, it does 40 damage. And that's Chef Souffle. I was talking too much over that about what I was doing, or about just slamming him into the stove and not really talking about what I was doing. So I shot him with a watermelon as soon as Luigi's tether broke off, which made it so I was able to re-grab him. And you know, since Luigi's kind of a putz, he's gonna let this elevator button get away in the stomach of a rat. You know, rats sure love their elevator buttons. Their favorite nutritious treat. And right here, I'm just gonna pull off this cheese. Let the rat come towards me. Flash him, and then the elevator button's just gonna pop up over here. And once more, you didn't see it there, but Luigi had the elevator button snatched from him once more. By, you know, another rat. Because he can't learn from the first time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make my way down here into the billiards room.
Oh my. Uh-oh.
Now the rat is going to hide himself in one of the 3 cabinets up here. It is RNG which one he's gonna be in. But after a little while, the one he's in is gonna shake. And we actually have our first introduction to oozers, which are my least favorite ghosts in this entire game. Right here, I'm going to go burst with one pocket right here to pull this oozer out. You can press X on it to have him pop up, but it's actually better for you to just use the burst mechanic there because you can pull him out from a distance. And right there, I actually swapped to Luigi before the locker hit the ground. Because Luigi is going to get spooked and run straight through this door instead of opening it normally. If Luigi is scared, he's going to run immediately through any door. We're going to use that to our advantage later, too, in B2. There's going to be a ghost that we aggro just for that purpose. Right here, we're going to have Luigi go through this pipe here, pull off this door, and I'm going to immediately flash to the left to get the one with the elevator button. Gonna burst all the food away. walk back through the door. And then instead of having Luigi pick up that button and go through the pipe, this is actually faster by about 3 seconds to just burst that food. And, have Luigi grab it by walking through the other bathroom stall, or other bathroom door. Surprisingly. It's the little things that count, right?
Oh.
Alright,
Yeah.
that's floor 2.
Yeah. Oh.
And coming up on floor 4, we actually have one of the major skips of the run coming up, where we are going to just deload a boss entirely. We're gonna make the game think he does. We're gonna make the game think that he just doesn't exist anymore. But first off, we have to go down to IckaAid's lab again because he was calling for us, and unfortunately, you can't skip that. If he calls for you to come down to the lab, you have to do it. Because if you try to go to another floor that isn't B1, he's gonna be like, Luigi, I told you to come downstairs. But he's basically just telling us about his store. He gives us a free golden bone, which if we die at all, if our HP goes to 0, while we have that golden bone, Polterpup is actually going to come and revive us. And no, I am not going to die, just so you guys can see Polterpup.
Hello.
And right here, not Luigi, IckaAid is teaching us about the Boo Radar in this game. If you're familiar with the first game, the Boo Radar was that little blip on the Game Boy 4 in the bottom right corner. In this game, it's actually the entire back of the Poltergust G00, where Luigi is housed, because Boos react to whatever Luigi is made of. And this is the only game in the Luigi's Mansion series, which is only 3 games to be fair, that Boos are entirely optional. You don't need to catch a single one in this game. Which I'm kind of thankful for, because they're very RNG in this game. Instead of them being 1 per room, there's 1 per floor. And if you don't find it in the correct spot in a room, it'll go to another room on that floor. And you don't know which room it's going to go into. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and burst over these rugs here. That goob over there is just kind of flinging rugs up at us. And right now, we're going to go ahead and save our good friend Toad. Now, our good boy, generic Toad. But before we do that, I am going to go ahead and do our second instance of Luigi push. I'm going to push Luigi. Oh my god. That's not good.
So,
I think I might be okay. I'm still gonna try to continue it.
okay. This game autosaves, right?
It does, but
Okay.
the only issue about that is that, remember how I was telling you earlier about seeds? How we keep rebooting the game till we get a good one?
Right.
I may have a bad one now. Which kind of will make some tricks obsolete. I'll see what I'm able to do. I might have to just go through some floors normally, unfortunately. I hope that's not the case, because that'll raise the estimate a bit.
We'll figure something out if that happens, but
yeah.
no pressure.
Yeah, I got a bad seed. Oh no, I can't do this trick anymore. I am determined to try to get up on this. Okay, I made it up on the stage. I can still do this trick. Okay, we're fine. Everything is okay. Oh yeah, that was incredibly stupid. It's okay. We're okay. Everything is fine. We're perfectly fine. For now. Everything is fine for now. Gotta love the switch, right? Alright, well, what I'm doing right here is... Well, actually, I'll explain it after the fact, because there's a lot going on right now. Where is he? Come here, you ghost. I need you. Please. Do not pull me off the stage, please. Oh my goodness, this is a fail fest right here. I just soft locked. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I just have to redo it. I panicked and I went through the door too fast and I soft locked into it. Oh no. This is a little bit of a train wreck, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Not giving up. Not giving up. It's okay. Oh
So,
my.
like any good marathon, we have buffer blocks in case runs go over estimate. So like don't stress about this. You're fine.
Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate though. Okay, well, we actually have to do the fight normally now. I can't do the skip, which, it's fine. You guys get to see something we don't normally see in the speedrun anymore. But you know what, that's okay. This is only saved about like 2 minutes. Not the end of the world, we're fine. I legit have not done this boss fight in a hot minute. But at least I still remember how to do it fast. I guess I could explain it to you guys. Well, this is Amadeus. He has 3 set sight on his boss fight. So I am going to try to bring him down only about 150 HP at a time, because his HP is going to go back up to another 150 threshold. So if I bring him under 300, he's just going to go back up to 300. If I bring him under 150, he'll go back up to 150 on the next phase. And right here I am just flashing him so he goes up on the stage, fuse out with his bombs, and then I'm going to immediately just shoot them into the piano. Alright. Oh man, made me lose my train of thought a bit. Hope everybody's doing well today. Oh, that's really unfortunate. It's okay though. It's okay. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. Even though we get to see a cool skip, we get to see a pretty cool boss fight. So let's think of it like that. So, yeah, standing in the corner kind of abuses this fight a little bit because the piano is just going to kind of keep jumping at you and it can't reach you anyway. So, yeah. Right now, I am going to spawn Luigi into the middle of the room. And I'm going to position Luigi into a certain spot where we will get an elevator button that you can't actually normally get anymore due to the new skip that we found. So this is going to be our final cycle on Amadeus here. Pull him under 100, then just start slamming. Alright, and if I'm standing in the right spot, Luigi should just grab it. Yep, okay, cool. And I'm just gonna go ahead and walk up here and grab our boy Toad. Normally, if you guys want to hear about what the skip was going to do, going through that room there, if I didn't go through the door too soon, then it would have put Luigi into the left side room. I would have immediately walked out, waited about 8 to 10 seconds, and then walked back into the room once more, which would have started an autosave. And then from there, once the game autosaved, I would have quit out of the game, and then loaded the file back up, and the boss would have just despawned. Because the game thinks that if you save outside of a boss room, that you must have defeated the boss, because that's the only way to get out of a boss room. The game doesn't save during a boss fight. Now, unfortunately, that whole mess did lose me about 5 minutes. And I'm still kind of unsure if I'm going to be able to do the floor skip on this coming floor, because it is seed dependent once more. And if I have a bad seed, you kind of can't do this. It honestly might be worth for me to just open and close the game out a couple of times to see if I get a good seed on the gate here. Just due to that, because this saves about 6 minutes. But we'll see. Fortunately, that's what happens when your game crashes. Due to unfortunate reasons, this Nintendo Switch games seem to be unstable sometimes. I know a few instances when I speedran Odyssey back in the day, the game crashed on itself a lot too. Not as often as this, but yeah, it's kind of sucky. It happens. Just gotta live, move on with it. Okay, so the skip right here, we're gonna walk through this gate here. Yeah, we're gonna walk through it. We're gonna push Luigi through it. Hopefully, if we have a good seed now. Oh, thank you, we do. Yes, we have a good seed. I got lucky when I rebooted the game. Let's go. Nice. Very, very clean. Alright, well, that skipped all of floor 6, and we are immediately in the boss fight. So, thanks to Luigi pushing, we can just skip the entirety of all of floor 6, and I did just mess up the boss, but, you know, we're not going to talk about that. I flashed him too soon. Gets the difficult stuff, messes up the easy stuff. You'll never forget losing 2 hours of progress and bloodstain due to a Switch crash. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I'm so sorry to hear that, Crunchy. Well, it's gonna come down to me playing well at this point to get under sub 240 for that estimate. So let's do it, gamers. Alright, so yeah, this is King of Frights. Floor 6 is kind of medieval themed, as you can kind of see by the whole arena. But we skip all of that. It saves us about like 6 minutes or so, which is pretty nice. We are gaming. This is going to be the last cycle on the fight here while he's under his armor. Then we're just going to be sucking him up. Alright, hopefully he tails Luigi here. Good. I'm going to have Luigi standing in the spot where the elevator button is going to land. So, while I may not get a cutscene or animation skip out of it, Luigi's victory animation, as soon as it's over, Luigi should instantly grab it. Alright, that was solid. Very solid Pro 6. I will take getting both those clips first try on a seed that I had no clue if it was going to work or not.
Oh, I did it.
So, we will take those.
Oh.
Yeah, this boss fight is actually pretty cool. I liked it a lot casually. It took me a while to figure out what you were supposed to do. It was actually kind of tricky. But yeah, we're going out right where we came from. And that is the end of floor 6. And, you know, once again, we're going to have Luigi do that great animation where he just doesn't remember what happened 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
It was exactly 5 minutes ago, too.
Oh, yeah.
And now we're making our way up to floor 7, the Garden Suites. And you know, we got our boy Luigi just hugging us. You wanna call that a hug? And floor 7, the Garden Suites. Looks pretty nice right here, but as soon as you start walking, you can see that over time, it has definitely become pretty overgrown. He slumped over your shoulder, poor thing had a rough day. He really did. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and grab the elevator button here. Or so you thought, there's just gonna be a tree appearing during the time that I skipped the cutscene. You know, just trees magically spawning in. No, our boss here, Dr. Potter, grew that tree out using his magical watering can. And right here, we're gonna do a little rope swinging with Poltergust. And pull on this plant right here. And I am going to spawn in Luigi right there, because there's going to be a ghost that immediately spawns behind me. I'm going to flash in, pull on the flower, and use Luigi. Because keeping Luigi by the door is your best case here. That way, once you're done defeating the ghost, you can immediately just run through the door. I'm going to flash this guy, and I'm going to slam him into the one with 60. Golden Clicker. It's also an achievement to defeat a ghost with Ghost Slam. I'm kind of shocked I haven't done that yet. And right here, Dr. Potter is actually going to start throwing some huge pineapples at us. But thankfully, the cycle allows us to just run straight through without having to worry to get hit. And coming up here, we actually have our introduction to another type of ghost. Actually, I can't actually recall the name of them. I'm gonna call them grabbers. They like to grab onto Luigi or Luigi. Whoever you're not using, basically, they want to grab onto. And right here, I'm gonna go ahead and burst his hammer because he has some leaves on his face, and I can't flash him due to it. really high up in the air, though. Alright, slam him 3 times, re-grab him. Start slamming again. Now I'm gonna hold out my plunger once more to skip the victory animation. I'm gonna walk straight through there. And this one, the cycle's a little bit less forgiving because he's throwing 2 pineapples at you. So you just have to stand still until they bounce over your head, and then you can just start running through. And this is probably one of the most fun rooms in the game, because using this saw blade here, you can actually destroy everything in the room. Everything you can imagine, you can destroy. And right here, the tree must have grabbed Luigi through the wall that broke through, and we need to save him using Luigi. So I placed the saw off to the left, so it was pretty accessible for Luigi to grab. And right here, we're gonna slam this giant watermelon. Have some goobs pop out of it. And splash. Only 3 of them. You can get all of them. It's kind of tricky though. And I am gonna slam them into the ground and then immediately re-grab after I let go of them. That is a little bit faster to do that. Just let go and have them all just piled onto the floor, then re-grab. And during this cutscene here, this little pan up, I am gonna be using Luigi to push this plant across, because you can actually do that, surprisingly. Some of these cutscenes you are actually able to use Luigi in. Not all of them, but some of them you can, like pushing that plant across. And a couple of other instances later, after I defeat some bosses, I can place Luigi right where the elevator button's gonna spawn in, which will allow for some cutscene skips doing that. And we're gonna run up these stairs right here. Cutscene's gonna activate, then we're gonna walk straight through this wall, because couldn't see it, but something happened to cause Luigi to get sent down the stairs and his back flung into the wall, making this hole here, which is our way up. We're gonna burst on these mushrooms to get a little bounce from them. And coming up here at the top of floor 7, there is a skip here that saves relatively 20 seconds. I am opting out of doing it though, because there is a chance that you could soft lock on it. And I do not think that's worth doing, especially with the crash that already happened. So we're just gonna make our way across these plants here, as you know, a filthy casual would do. And we're just gonna push on this plant. And you can actually grab both sides, or you can actually grab the same side of this plant. Normally, they want you to go on both sides. One side with Luigi, then the other side with Luigi. But you can actually shoot 2 plungers onto it if you do it carefully enough. They won't override each other. Normally they do override each other, but in that sense they don't. And Dr. Potter here, we actually have a very interesting regrab on him. So I am gonna go ahead and cut the plant here so he runs around the room. And I'm gonna start sucking HP off of him. But instead of slamming at all, I'm going to let him pull me off. Just pull me off entirely. And then mashing the A button, you can actually re-flash him and then re-grab him. And then once he's under 100 HP, just start. It's the only boss ghost that allows for that, because he has a little chuckle after he breaks off, which gives us enough time to re-flash him. That is honestly one of the most annoying boss fights ever, and when that regrab was found, everybody was so ecstatic. Because I can't think of a single person that actually liked that boss fight, in casual or speedrunning. Now we're just gonna climb up here to grab the elevator button. We are filthy casual now. Heck yeah. Alright, and now we're just gonna make our way right on back to the elevator. And coming up here is honestly one of my favorite floors in the game. Floor 8. See from the elevator button. But floor 8 is like it's a movie set. And actually the portrait ghost, or the boss ghost, that's on this floor is not aggressive towards you at all. You don't even suck him up. You just leave him be. He gives you the elevator button willingly. All he wants is his precious megaphone, and we get it for him. And then, for our reward, he gives us the elevator button. But yeah, I love the theme of this floor. It's so pretty. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make our way over to this television here, our good old Melee CRT. And we're just gonna flash this because, you know, TVs act as transportation devices in this universe. You know, just casually walk through TVs. And that's Morty right there, the boss ghost, technically speaking. And we actually have another skip coming up here. So I'm gonna go through room 3 and 4, activating the TVs, just so I can carry the objects through them without having to go through them individually later. And then once I'm done doing that, I'm gonna go into door 2. We don't actually go into door 1 at all during this segment here, just due to the skip. So yeah, going through here. I am actually going to be pulling that torch down all the way up there. Normally, you'd have to grow a plant to be able to get that down. But instead, if these planks will despawn, that'd be great. I am going to carefully pull this into the corner. Hopefully this will work. Fortunately, that didn't work. So I am going to push it into the corner until it pops itself down here. There we are. So what happens there is that the game thinks that the torch gets stuck into a spot that Luigi is unable to get it from. It kind of gets itself stuck into a corner, and the game thinks that it's impossible for Luigi to be able to pull off. So it just spawns itself down to the bottom, so Luigi can just grab it. You can also pull the torch off normally, but we opt out of doing that because the warp is a little bit faster. And it's usually more consistent anyway. But yeah, since this is a whole movie theater set, going into the cameras actually causes the scenery to, you know, act as a movie theater that you can interact with Luigi. So what we're seeing right now is what Luigi sees in the camera. Did mess this up a little bit. That's okay. It's still pretty fast. And right here we have this hammer coming by. I'm gonna flash him to keep him in place. And I'm just going to grab this torch, walk up here, light it up on fire, flash him again. And then I'm going to grab him and hopefully slam the torch down. where I want it to go. Unfortunately, that didn't go the way I wanted it to. But I did grab the torch quick enough to where it skipped Luigi's victory animation. Because anything attached to the end of the vacuum will have priority over that victory animation. So the plunger or any sort of object you can hold on to. And there's Morty's megaphone. I'm gonna go ahead and place that torch there. And look into this camera here. And we're gonna pull open this box, which is going to reveal a spider. And I actually thought that this spider here was a boss. And I had the torch lined up in the perfect spot where it immediately killed the spider as soon as it came out of the box. And I thought I just defeated it instantly when I was casually playing this game for the first time. I was so confused. But yeah, we're going to give the megaphone to Morty, and he's going to want us to star in his big upcoming movie, which is just us fighting Godzilla. So right now I'm going to flash him in the face, so he sends out one of these big fireballs. We actually manipulate him to send out these fireballs at certain moments. After he shoots that out, I'm going to flash him again, and now he's going to send out another big fireball at us. Normally this is kind of like luck and chance, but we can manipulate it a bit. I'm going to flash him once more here. I'm going to shoot out another fireball, flash him once more. Shoot out another fireball, flash him again, and now he's going to shoot out the big one. And using both Luigi and Luigi, I'm going to push the frame back into his face. And we just got to mash the A button. I don't actually know how hard you need to mash this. I don't think mashing it faster or slower really makes a difference. But all I do know is that if you're doing this in co-op, both you and your second player need to be pressing the button. And during this cutscene here, I actually popped Luigi out of the poltergust and put him back in. So I'm actually able to charge up the strobe bulb during that cutscene and flash him immediately as soon as I'm able to. I just have it charged up, and then as soon as the camera just pans back over to Luigi and Luigi, I release the A button. And yeah, that's floor 8. Now, oh boy, we have one of the worst parts of the game coming up.
Yeah.
If anybody is familiar with this game, then you are familiar with Polterkitty. Polterkitty steals the elevator button that I just put into that slot there. And has you go through the rest of this floor again, and then I'm going back down to floor 7 to try to get this elevator button back. This is the padding of the game. Everybody loves padding. Everybody loves, what's another word I can use? Just keep it at padding. It's unfortunate. But it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and run through the third door. I know exactly where Polterkitty is gonna be at. Normally you can track her using the dark light, which shows her footprints across the ground. But since I know exactly where she's gonna go, I don't need to worry about that. It's gonna be a ghost that spawns out of this window. Flash him, have him pull me a little bit. Slam him down into that guy there. And I'm gonna slam both of them. Then I'm gonna go through this door where Polterkitty is hiding at. Flash at this bench because she's gonna go right down there. And she's gonna become a really, really angry kitty. Gonna line up about right here. Flash using using Luigi. And I'm going to slam her towards the door. That's where she's going to exit from. If you slam Polka Kitty towards the door, then she has less space to run to. Which, you know, saves a little bit of time. Yeah, the pup is much better than the kitty. Without a doubt. We're gonna have Luigi go up onto the platform here. Walk across these girders. Cats and dogs. Hey, that's your personal preference. And I don't judge it. Cats are good animals too. They are good companions. Alright, just gonna fall off there because, you know, we don't care about Luigi's legs very much. And Polterkitty herself is gonna spawn some of these spirit orbs, which actually work a little bit differently than the normal ones. Instead, it's gonna take over this trash can here, make it evil, and then we're gonna need to use the dark light on it to get rid of those spirit orbs. And once more, we're gonna go ahead and make our way over to the elevator. So she went down a floor. Hit the elevator button. There's gonna be some ghosts spawning out of here. We're gonna flash them immediately with Luigi, because they're all clustered together. And I'm gonna walk through the elevator door. If those flashlights could get out of the way. Those flashlights were blocking Luigi's entrance into the elevator. Cats are good boys, dogs are better boys. I mean, like I said, it's up to you. It's your personal preference. I think all animals are great. Now we're gonna go ahead and make our way back through floor 7 up to a certain room where Polterkitty is hiding out at. Yes, all pets are perfect boys. Right here, we actually have our first instance of ghosts that you don't really need to capture, because there's no bar across the door when they spawn in, so you can just run right past them. You're just gonna hear this music throughout the rest of this floor. Because we're never gonna suck them up. There's no point to. It's just a time waster. So yeah, we're gonna run up into this room here. Polterkitty is hiding in this wardrobe over here, so we can spawn Luigi. Open it up. And immediately flash, and I missed, and pushed Luigi across the room, apparently. That's a first. I've never seen that one before. I'm going to immediately flash it. Slam her towards the door. And she's gonna go back to bed again. Stop to Luigi. And unfortunately, there's no way to skip this animation once you go through the door here. Kind of unfortunate. He's hiding underneath these cherry blossoms over here. So we're gonna burst those up, run through the hole in the wall, then make our way up to the next floor, because you couldn't see it, but she did go up the floor. I ran through before it indicates that she did that. Now there is a ghost hidden right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and yank on him. Now Polterkitty is hiding beneath those watermelons over there, but the only way to break them is by slamming this bigger one on it, then turning the water on. You know, most cats don't really like water. And it is a little RNG depending on where Polterkitty is going to spawn up on those tree branches up there. Typically, you want her to spawn towards the sink over there, and that way you can keep Luigi's back towards her the whole time. Now she's just going to cough up the elevator button after we pull all 3 of her tails off. And coming up right here, we actually have another skip. which instead of climbing all the way down to the bottom of the tree again, let's just go ahead and push ourselves off. And just arrive all the way at the bottom. You know, like I said earlier, we don't really care about Luigi's legs too much. He seems to be fine. He's still walking. The vet field's a cool area.
Oh, yeah.
That's a cool career to be in.
Yeah. Oh.
Luigi. Luigi.
Oh, yeah.
The best brother, Luigi. Alright, and coming up here we have another boss fight specific floor. Is there only one type of any percent type of category? Yes there is, as of right now. There was talk like quite a while ago about like a skipless category, but there isn't anything on the leaderboards as of right now for that. So here I'm gonna go ahead and pull at that, pull at this as well. And you have to pull on both of those at the same time to have them activate properly. And keep your eyes peeled. You can actually see what we're gonna be fighting here. You guessed it, it's the T-Rex. If you didn't guess it, then, well, yeah. So I'm gonna have the T-Rex eat Luigi, then I'm gonna shoot these eggs at its chest until it eventually breaks itself off and runs around the room. I'm gonna shoot these bone parts at its chest again, have it lock onto Luigi. Let me stomp on it, then I'm going to, oh shoot, Luigi got hit. Actually, that's unfortunate, but you know what, it's okay. Alright, we need to shoot one more into his chest. Hopefully there's a closer one. No, this close one. Unfortunately, this boss fight is pretty RNG dependent just because of all these bone parts that just scatter around the room. But here's our boy Ugg. He was actually controlling that T-Rex. I'm gonna go ahead and burst, flash him, stuck on him, get him down to 300, and then I'm gonna start slamming him because there's no way to pull off 400 HP, unfortunately. I'm gonna go ahead and go over here. And like I said, this boss fight is a little bit RNG dependent if he does this big slam, which he actually did that pretty fast for me. It's nice. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of RNG dependent if he's gonna do that big slam fast or slow. Kind of unfortunate. Yeah, that's Ugg. Really surprised how optimized this run seems, considering the game only dropped in October on the 31st. Yeah, there's a lot that had been found within the first couple of months of this game. And that one skip that I was trying to do earlier that I crashed on, that was actually found by 2 people on Reddit out of random. They just decided, you know what, this weekend we want to try to find a skip for Luigi's Mansion 3. And they did it. They did it. They just decided, you know what sounds like fun this weekend? Let's just try to casually find a skip in a video game.
Yellow. Ducky, bye-bye.
Alright, and now we're going down to what seems to be a lot of people's least favorite floor in this entire game. But I actually really like B2. B2 is pretty good if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
Good old boiler works.
Whoop. Hey.
All right, and we actually would be introduced to the main boss right here, but I am skipping the cutscene.
Okay, okay.
This boss fight coming up actually also has a regrab, but it is kind of difficult, so if I miss it, it's kind of to be expected. I apologize about the beeping for the hearts as well. I haven't come across any right now. I can slam, that goes into there. Still use minis. Very, very good room. I can't complain about that at all. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull on these pipes while Luigi is going through there. Place him here. And then suck on these pipes once more. We're gonna go ahead and flash that, and then walk through the way. Very solid room. Can't complain about how that went at all. Now I'm gonna go ahead and place Luigi once more right here. Push at this engine thing. And we're gonna go ahead and go up the ladder. And there's gonna be a cutscene here that I'm going to skip where Clem is going to flood the entire basement. As you can see, there is a bunch of water here now. He actually knocks Luigi into the water, and Polterbutt pulls us out during that cutscene. Fortunately, you couldn't watch it. And I'm gonna have Luigi go through this little gate here, go through this pipe, and while he's doing that, I'm gonna swap to Luigi, hop onto the tube, swap back to Luigi, pull on this, and then I'm gonna push my way through here. Go through it this way while Luigi is just pulling himself along. There's a lot of multitasking in this part, and I love it. That's why I love those areas so much. It's just very multitask heavy, and I think it's so fun to pull off well. Now, we're just gonna be waiting for Luigi to go through all these pipes here. It's kind of slow on this part. It's kind of just a waiting game. And if we get Luigi too close to that gate over there, his tube is going to pop, and then he's going to spawn back all the way off to the left side. We're going to go ahead and make our way through there. Go through these grates, go through this pipe. While Luigi's going through there, I'm going to have Luigi go over this way and grab onto that. To pull that little grate up there. Luigi slip his way through this pipe, avoiding the water. Then I am going to pull this gate up ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Come on. There we go. Ever so slightly. So that Luigi can slip his way through without spawning in some ghosts that are going to pop Luigi's tube. They act as sharks. And during that time, you have to go around them. You can't actually defeat them. You have to go around them in the tube, which is very annoying. So instead, we just barely lift the gate up so they don't spawn in. Right now, I'm going to have Luigi go through this pipe. See this guy right here. Pull at this. Pull at this while he's pulling on that pipe there. Have Luigi spawn back down here. Go all the way up to the top. hopefully this mini hammer will spawn in somewhere. If I can actually get him at. Unfortunately, he didn't really go to a very good spot. There we go. I overlapped both cutscenes at the same time. That's what I was trying to do. I was trying to have that hammer near me at the time of Luigi going through those pipes. That way I could just go straight up the pipe and skip the animation. So right here, I'm gonna go ahead and burst this cube, have him pull me across the room. And I'm going to make my way all the way back to the left side. And while this goob is trailing me, I brought this up earlier. There's a case where I'm going to spawn a ghost to just run through doors, because while Luigi is spooked by a ghost or any sort of object, he immediately runs through doors. Just like that. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and push Luigi up into that water, which is going to push him out of bounds, and then spawn him off to the left side, instead of opening up that ladder. And then just climbing down it. That saves about 5 seconds or so. It's a nice little time save, if you ask me. Alright, and we got our boy Clem right here. Gonna go ahead and hop up on the ladder. He's going to keep swinging at us. Spawn Luigi. Climb down. And I'm gonna go ahead and shoot him into these spikes over here. Have Luigi collide into the spikes too. And I'm going to flash Clem, burst him, grab him, and then I'm going to slam him into the wall. And flash him at the right time to re-grab him. That was very good. And that's a lot more precise than you may think. I let him do 2 rollouts after he pulls off of Luigi, and then immediately flash him. Like I said, it's a lot more precise than you may think. Very good. That was a very good B2. Other than the gate issue earlier with the pulling it up, because I kept swapping between Luigi and Luigi as I was letting go of R, which caused him to drop it. Yeah, very, very good B2. But unfortunately, this is not the only time we were going to be seeing this floor. Now, making our way up to floor 10.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Getting ourselves closer and closer to the end.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Now, this floor right here is Egyptian themed. This is actually going to be our first or not our first instance. This is actually where the first boss fight regrab was actually found by accident. There were 2 people that were doing a co-op run, and they accidentally stumbled upon it while using Luigi and Luigi at the same time. And then we recreated it pretty well, actually. But we won't see that for a good, like, 10 minutes. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself right now. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and just pull on that right there, then make our way through this door. And these torches are gonna light up, and we'll be able to have an X prompt right here. And the boss actually sent us down into the lower part of her tomb here. Boss fight, or the boss being named Serpsy. So we're gonna go ahead and pull away a little bit of the sand right here. And we're just gonna go ahead and pull on that handle. We're gonna go ahead and push this sand up, keeping the poltergeist stuck out. That way we can easily make our way up those stairs right there. Because for whatever reason, that little step right there is the most annoying thing in this entire game. I am so glad somebody found out that you can just hold out the poltergeist and walk up it like that. Because you have to have so much sand up there, it's ridiculous. If you want to do that normally. It's honestly kind of shocking that that made it past testing. Because there's no other thing like that in this game where you have to push sand like that high up. Even in this next room, where I have to get up onto some platforms by pushing sand, you only need to barely put enough up there to be able for Luigi to make a step up to it. So here, gonna go ahead and burst this mummy, pull off its bandages, and I'm gonna go ahead and flash the ghost hiding underneath it. Then we're gonna make our way through this door right here. Place Luigi. Then I'm gonna push the sand up. This little statue up here. It's gonna hide itself. And now, this floor really likes to kill Luigi. In every room you go to, there's always some sort of death trap layout for him. Now, right here, if you don't act quick enough and get rid of these lasers, there's a huge stone on the top in the ceiling. It's gonna go ahead and fall on us. Thankfully, that ghost spawned into a really good spot, so I was able to grab him without him having to go up to Luigi. So yeah, that was really good. You really need to play through this game. Everything is making me want to play. You love the visuals and the pup. Yeah, this is honestly one of my favorite Switch games. Luigi's Mansion 3 surprisingly beats out the original for me. I just find it a lot of fun. Alright, then we're gonna go ahead and make our way up here and purposefully hit this pressure plate here. Cause this ball to spawn in. We're gonna use that for later, to our advantage, on some of the mummy ghosts that are going to spawn in. Shoot, missed that. Gonna go ahead and pull away at some of the sand here. And once again, we have another room that's gonna try to kill Luigi, but this time with poison. So our objective here is to try to cover up all the holes with these conveniently shaped objects. That's okay though. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this one into the triangle, apparently. The auto lock on in this game is really finicky. Okay, that room wasn't all too bad. Can't really complain about it. You just want it for the pup? I mean, I can't blame you. Pup is pretty great. He is a good boy. Good boy indeed. Alright, but yeah, our main objective for this floor is to try and hit all these switches to try to cause the sand to stop growing through that hole, so we can make our way up to that top door that IckaAid panned in on earlier. That one all the way up there. Right now, there's a little bit of focus time right here. I need to make sure that the ball makes its way over to the left side of this room. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull on this one here, pull on that one there immediately after. Have Luigi come back to me. I'm gonna flash both of these guys at the same time in the wall, slamming both of them hopefully into this mummy. Keep Luigi into this corner. Hopefully the ball will roll off from the left to the right, but it doesn't look like it's gonna turn out that way, unfortunately. Just fine, just a little slow. So very likely the mummy in the bottom right corner did not get hit. Yeah, okay, it didn't. If you have it go from left to right, a lot of times this mummy right here is gonna get hit, but if not, it'll probably end up getting missed. Still, very, very solid. I can't complain about that. Okay, good. Put enough sand on it. Out of curiosity, how's the multiplayer? It's actually really good. Of course, Luigi takes priority over everything, so if you're playing as Luigi and you go through a door, then Luigi's just gonna follow you through it. There's no real way around that. But it's really good. You have like all the same controls as normal Luigi. But yeah, this scale here is actually very precise. So I went ahead and placed objects to determine the weight of each sort of creature it was asking for. Thankfully, it's a set pattern. There's no random like luck depending on which one you can get. It's all the same every time. No sort of different patterns that you could get either, which is very nice. Pretty easy to remember then. It definitely took us a while to optimize this room. Right here, I'm gonna go ahead and slam the big guy into the mini hammers, as many as I'm able to. Probably did miss one or two though. 3 actually. But you know, overall, that was pretty good. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go into the middle of the room here where the sand is collecting first, and that's gonna spawn in these ghosts instantly. Cluster up. Gotta have them all cluster up together. I did miss one, but it's not a big deal. Fortunately enough, this room is kind of an auto store. We need to wait for the sand to go all the way up to the top of the room anyway. So you can kind of mess up. You can mess up quite a bit and you'll still be fine. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the hammer right here. Maybe slam it to the purple one. Yep, the grabber. There we go. Very good. Now we just gotta wait a little bit for the sand to rise up. Can't really do much other than just wait. Fortunately, there is no way to get up to this door as of right now without raising the sand all the way up. But honestly, I really hope for there to be a skip to be able to get up to this door. That'd be amazing. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and run straight through here as the wall is slowly closing in on us. Now we're gonna go ahead and light up this torch with all these spiders spawning in. And stand in the exact spot right here. It won't cause Luigi to line up to this. And Luigi himself is the key. And that's our boss, who is Circusy. Yeah, the sand in this game is definitely very satisfying. Very annoying, but it's very satisfying. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull off the sand onto this face of her. Get hit purposefully. Keep pulling it away, some more sand away at her. Now I'm gonna go ahead and burst. Get hit at the same time. If you do that correctly, it'll actually spawn her in immediately. She won't do that little giggle animation. Right here, there is a re-grab that I'm going to do. So I'm going to pull off some HP. Spawn Luigi in. I messed that up. Ah, that's a little unfortunate. I had her in the tether, but instead of swapping to Luigi, I accidentally let go. Ah, that's unfortunate. It's okay. It's not the biggest time loss, but you'd have seen how I would have gotten the one cycle. That's all that matters to me, I guess. But basically, you just get her stuck into the tether. And then you re-flash her with Luigi and Luigi. Now, unfortunately, this is a little bit slow due to that, but you know what? It's okay. Can't win them all, right? Not everything's gonna go perfect all the time. Keep pulling away at the sand here, so she spawns back in. Now I'm gonna try and pull her down 100 HP. And that's Cersei. Considering I got the Clem one cycle, which is significantly more difficult than the Cersei one, I'm pretty satisfied. Even though I did end up missing that. I'm really not too mad about it. I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, irritating, and it gets everywhere. Oh yeah, go to the beach. Even just like put 1 foot into the sand, you're gonna be collecting all that home. And that is floor 10.
Oh, yeah. Ha ha. Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah.
If I can pop in one more time.
Oh yeah, of course.
We got a $20 donation from License to Bill, so big thank you, Bill.
Nice.
I hope to see you this summer.
Big
NASA,
donations coming in.
Oh, let's go. Actually, that one was a while ago. It just slipped past me a bit, but
Oh, okay.
very much appreciated.
Oh yeah, of course.
Huh? Oh.
And right here we have the 3 magician sisters that their names completely slipped my mind. Sorry to break it to anyone, but I do not remember the names of these ghosts here at all. That's probably because I did not have their name as a split, so I've never really memorized them. But we're gonna pull off that fake door on the wall there. Gonna go ahead and suck up these spirit orbs. And that piggy bank there always likes to get attached to the head of your vacuum. Every time. It didn't there, but almost every time, is what I should say. And right here, we're gonna go ahead and flash that. I'm gonna move the bed, and then I'm gonna go ahead and use the dark light on this door frame here. Gonna go ahead and spawn in a door as soon as I collect the orbs.
Hello.
Now this is another one of Polterkitty's spirit orb thingies. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open that up, revealing the key for the next room. Luigi's kind of stuck back there, I guess. He's a little finicky. Alright, then we're gonna go ahead and go over to this vending machine right here. There's actually a door hidden behind it. If I can shoot the plunger on it, that'd be great. And that door off to the right where they went through is actually locked. So I'm gonna have to go over this way to get the key. I'm gonna spawn Luigi down there. Pull on that. Use the dark light on here. And using Luigi, I can, well, almost always instantly grab all those, but I must have been in a bad spot. And I spawned Luigi right there to skip a little bit of an animation where Luigi would get spooked by the crows that pop out of there. And standing exactly where the key is will skip part of his animation. Very nice. And we're gonna go ahead and make our way through this door right here. And as we can see through this mirror, we can see that there's actually a hidden curtain blocking up this door. We're gonna go ahead and pull on and make our way through here. Then once more, just make our way back through this room here, which is where they were hiding in the entire time. That's where they were at the start of the floor. And now we actually are going to be making our way through all these rooms once more, but this time they're entirely randomized and with ghosts inside of them. And now I'm gonna have these guys group up together. Best as possible. Okay, there. It's a little slow, but it's not the end of the world. And have Luigi go up to the top here. Or not, because this goof killed Luigi. It's a little unfortunate. This is one of the more unoptimized rooms. Just because of how spread out the ghost can be. And I'm gonna go ahead and grab these dudes here, slam him down right there, and I want to flash them because there actually is another one of those trash can things over there that will spook Luigi and make him drop the goobs, which I don't really want to happen. Now, one of the worst rooms right here with all these oozers. These oozers with this fan in the middle of the room are not a good combo. Oh my goodness, this is not going well at all. This room could either go absolutely perfect, or it's completely horrible, like it was right now. But that's okay. We made our way through it, and that's all that matters. Alright, and now this huge tank with water in it. There's gonna be a hammer that's gonna break his way out of it. I'm gonna go off to the left here, flash him as soon as you're able to, and get behind him, start pulling on him. Slam him 3 times, re-grab, and start slamming him again. And we're gonna make our way back through this door. And we're gonna do the strat that I actually came up with. And we're gonna try to pull as many ghosts together right here as possible. Drag them off the stage, and I messed it up because I grabbed onto them. But you know what? We backed it up somehow. When you mess up your own strat, it feels bad, man. Regrabs, Evo, here we come. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and push this trash can into the corner. Oh, this is a little slow. I'm gonna do some improvised strats here. Grab this loser here, spawn in Luigi. Grab this food, and hopefully, okay, yeah, grab her spawn in right next to where I wanted it to. Okay, that actually went a lot better than what I thought it was going to. So I will, without a doubt, take that. Right now, they're hiding underneath their hats. They're just going to go ahead and spin around the room until they get close to me. Then I'm going to burst them. As soon as they get close to me, I'm going to pull on their ponytail, which is going to stick out of their hat, and suck them up one at a time. Like that. Grab onto this. That's actually not their ponytail. It's just like some of the, I don't know, magic stuff, I guess. I don't know what you'd call that. Thank you for putting this together for us, Shuli. I really appreciate it. Seriously. All my love goes out to you for putting this together. Alright, and now one of these hats actually has a bomb under it. I was paying attention to which one it is, so I am going to not pull up the one that has a bomb in it. Alright, so just one more. He's gonna go ahead and spawn in 2 bombs, so I'm gonna go ahead and pay attention to her and not the bomb this time. For anyone that's not been paying attention, she's in the far right one. If you care, that is. Yeah, just pay attention to the hat, and then as soon as they get close to me again, go ahead and burst. Cycle's kind of rinsing her feet. It's up to the end here where they turn off the lights to try to trick you. On this one right here. Gonna be the last one. And I am standing pretty much exactly where the button's gonna be spawning in. You would have been bombed, the light spooked you. Paying attention to the wrong one, huh? After the lights went out. And that is the end of floor 11. And I slipped on a banana. Nice. And yeah, those trash cans don't go away until you proceed to the next floor. So he's kind of just hopping around. Thankfully, you don't need to defeat them, and it spooks Luigi through the door, so that's pretty good too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, making our way to floor 12, which is unfortunately a backtracking floor. Because as soon as we get to floor 12, we're going to notice that we can't proceed any further. And IckaAid is going to have IckaAid is going to call us back down to the lab. Tell us that, oh hey, I tried to go get a part. I tried to have Toad go get a part. He got scared. He lost it. Could you go save him? So we're going to have to go back all the way down to B2 once more and progress through there.
Hello?
So we're going to look through this peephole right here because we have no way of getting rid of this pirate ship here. And IckaAid's going to tell us, come back down to the lab. I'm going to upgrade your poltergeist for you as soon as Toad gets that part. So I'm going to go ahead and pause, click lab, and it's going to give us a little bit of a shortcut back down to the lab instead of going all the way down to B1 to do so. Unfortunately, we can't use this as like a quick travel point Because Luigi's gonna go right back through the TV again. Opposed to just like leaving the door. So yeah. Fortunately you can't use that as like a little bit of a quick shortcut. That's okay. It's better off going it's better off using the menu lab instead of going to B1 and then going to B2. Just because of loading. And walking. Yeah, there was a little video right there that I skipped where Toad got captured. Or he didn't get captured, but he got spooked by one of the ghosts and then it took apart. Now he's hiding underneath a cardboard box in B2 in one of the side rooms that we never went into. So yeah, right here, I'm gonna go ahead and make my way through, but not before getting spooked by this guy. I'm gonna go ahead and pull him down and use the dark light. And pull out these orbs. If they want to come close to me, that would be great. Then I'm gonna go ahead and pull on this toolbox here. Because there are gonna be some ghosts that are gonna spawn in here, and one of the oozers that's gonna spawn could hide in there. And that negates one of his hiding spots, saving us from going across that side of the room. That was very, very good. Everything in that room just worked very well. Okay, so I'm gonna have Luigi go through that pipe. Pull on this valve here so there's no water blocking him. Then I'm going to burst that box open while Luigi's still going through the pipe. And Toad is honestly one of the most broken things in this game. You're going to see him just doing whatever the heck he wants. Most of the time. Go ahead and shoot him up at that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and go over here with Luigi. Get him situated on this platform here. Then I am going to take I'm gonna take Toad and shoot him across the room, is what I meant to say. Just gonna yeet him. And I'm gonna shoot him up onto that platform, grabbing the part that I need. And look, Toad he just teleports to you. He's just doing his own thing. Now I am going to attempt a skip here. That could potentially save some time. But I'm not gonna try it for too long. If I don't get it, I don't get it. Okay, never mind. I am not gonna do it, because I didn't get it. And I have to go all the way back up to the ladder to fix that. So we're just gonna roll with it. It's kind of difficult. It saves a little bit of time, but if you fail it a couple of times, it's not worth doing. So instead, I'm just gonna go through here as normal. And defeat some ghosts on the way. Normally, what you would do is get Luigi up on that platform up there, and have him walk all the way through this area without triggering one of the ghost spawn-ins, which will cause this purple grabber to just not appear at all. Alright, now this gate should lift up. Okay. Loud baby mushroom man. Heck yeah. The treatment that Toad deserves. Exactly. Alright, very good. Grabber spawned in a really nice spot. Alright, now we're gonna make our way down this way. And he's gonna get the treatment he deserves even more, because we really don't care about Toad, so we're just gonna throw him into the brick wall to break it. Then we're gonna gonna shoot him up here. And like I said, because he's very buggy, he's just gonna teleport it right on down to us. You know, that's just how toads work. Get out of here. I'm just gonna pull on this. Gonna, you know, just magically teleport over to the right side. We're gonna make our way through this door here. And I'm gonna go ahead and have Luigi go down this way. I'm gonna shoot Toad over the edge, use him to break this brick wall, and place him up on these that platform up there. To open this up, then I'm going to run on over here with Luigi and have this platform go across, immediately making my way through the door. And as you can see, we had to go through the long way because that hammer is blocking the door, just sleeping in front of it. Which is why I decided not to go through that door, because it's, yeah, you can't. Kind of unfortunate. Make you do all this extra stuff. Now I'm gonna go ahead and grab Toad right here. Well, I actually messed that up a little bit. I'm supposed to open up the elevator, then grab Toad. Swap to Luigi, and hopefully I will have both grabbers spawning right next to each other. I messed that up a little bit. More than a little bit. But you know what? It's okay. We're fine. It's gonna be okay. A little slow, but it's all good. Me not hitting the elevator at first would pretty much cause that mess up. But it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Alright, then we're gonna go ahead and make our way back up to B1. Greetings, HD Lax 1. You can give Toad a little high five here before we just throw him around the elevator a little bit. And coming up right here, we have our last instance of a purple grabber. I'm gonna spawn Luigi right there. He's gonna grab Toad. I'm gonna burst. Have him shoot towards Luigi, then immediately grab him. And I'm gonna slam the purple grabber into these mini goobs over here. And I almost hit all of them, which would have been ideal, but that was still pretty good. And hopefully we'll get the broken cutscene. Yes. This happens more than not. This cutscene breaks half the time. More than half the time. It spawns Luigi all the way onto the left side of the door.
Yeah. Oh.
So it's playing out his animations with him all the way across the room. So everything looks really wonky and weird.
Yeah.
Toad is a natural speedrunner. He really is. Yeah, Luigi is pretty shy. That's why he's just cowering into the door. He's a fraidy cat. Alright, now we're making our way all the way back up to floor 12 to use our new ability, Super Suction. But not before we do this little dance here.
Whoa!
On our way up. Okay, we're gonna go over here, off to this little outlet here. And we're just gonna destroy this entire ship. Well, not the entirety of it, just the left side so we can get by through the door. IckaAid is actually a Pikmin. He has a little hair on the top of his head. You could probably throw him like a Pikmin. Now we're coming up to what is probably my favorite boss fight in the entire game. Really unfortunate. All these areas that are themed really well are just boss fights. Gonna go ahead and pull on that, which is gonna cause the ship to come on over this way. Now we are literally going to fight the ship itself. Gonna be shooting these barrels into its mouth, and we don't actually know what the ghost itself is yet. I know what it is. The game actually tells it to you before the fight, but you know, I skipped the cutscene, so you guys don't know. Come on, man, throw a barrel. Okay, that wasn't bad. I'll take it. And this is Fishhook. I fucked that up. I was holding out my charge. I would have ruined the attack. That's okay. A little slow. And this boss, unfortunately, is cycle-based, so he's always going to cap out at 200 and 100 HP. There's no way around that. Okay, very good. First phase of this fight is pretty much done. Now he's going to take over the back of the ship. He's going to try to fling us into his mouth, which is actually faster to do. Just get eaten. We're just going to shoot, once again, 3 more barrels into his mouth. Kind of rinse and repeat, but I like the fight a lot, casually. Not so much in the speedrun. Speedrun, it's kind of a pain. But... So once again, just gonna take these barrels that the losers are gonna throw at us, shoot 3 into his mouth, and then we're gonna wrap up the fight. Whenever the boat shakes around, there's a chance that a fish can fall onto the deck of the ship. And if you shoot that into his mouth, that actually counts as a bomb or a barrel. Like, his mouth will explode like it normally would with a barrel. Which is a really funny oversight. And that's Fishhook. And if I properly line myself up, I can grab the button. And you actually can't skip this cutscene. But it's okay, because it's extremely cute.
Oh? Oh.
Very nice.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, okay.
This is your favorite floor? Yeah. I like this floor a lot too. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, just because it's a boss fight and it requires backtracking before you do it. But it's definitely high up on my list. Much more damage does the animation cancel do? Do you mean the extra slams? That doesn't really save as much time here, just because the HP caps anyway. But it does save significant amounts of time on other ghosts and other fights. I'm actually gonna walk out of bounds right here, hopefully. Yep, right there. I just walked out of bounds around the part of the ship there, which saves like a fraction of a second.
Wow. Hello. Goodbye.
I'm pretty sure Skazi found that, because I picked it up from him
Oh, yeah.
when he was running this game.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's floor 12. Moving on to floor 13.
Oh, yeah.
And you may think, after all these crazy floors, like a magic floor, an Egyptian floor, and now an ocean with a pirate ship in it, what do you think could be next? That's right, you guessed it. The hotel gym. All the way at the top of all this madness.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, gym, obviously. Alright, so we had to interact with that door to cause Johnny, who's this guy, to throw a volleyball into the fogged up window so we can look through it, which is going to spawn in some ghosts afterwards. Very, very good.
Oh, yes.
That was so clean.
Okay, okay.
Working from home and keeping your 5-month-old entertained with your Luigi's Mansion speedruns. Hey, I respect it, man. Luigi Hut's a good game. Ooh. A little finicky. Did you use Luigi to skip Luigi's win animation? I used Luigi to walk across the right side of the room while Luigi's victory animation was playing, actually. I just fucked that up. This is like the easiest skip in the game. And I just messed that up really badly. Oh, no. Well, I guess it's gonna happen if you're not really paying attention to which button you're pressing. Basically, what I was supposed to do there is just hold out the dark light. And if you walk across the room holding out the dark light, it skips having to fight these ghosts entirely. That's really unfortunate. I haven't messed that up. Ever. Okay, well, anyways, this room right here is entirely RNG, depending on where the key is going to spawn in. It can be in any one of these machines. Be it these bikes, or these, what are these over here? Treadmills? Yeah, treadmills. I'm gonna get the worst RNG, just watch. Gonna be in the 6th bite, or 6th machine. Yep. I knew it. It was in the worst one. That's unfortunate. That's alright. RNG was not in my favor today. So I'm gonna go ahead and blow that with Luigi there. Blow this. Luigi. I'm gonna go ahead and burst that. I was trying to use Luigi when Luigi was getting spooked, because that would skip his spooking animation right there. Also, just skip that key animation there by opening up the chest again. That's pretty good. And I'm gonna go ahead and use Luigi instead of Luigi in this room. Just keep him close to the door. Grab this hammer and hopefully slam him into these mini ones over here. Okay, good. Alright, now we have the shower room coming out. And since there's fog, the strobe bulb doesn't really work in here. So you have to turn off all the water. Very good. Now there's going to be a huge wave of ghosts spawning in here. Now I'm going to do the splash and pull strat. Okay, that was pretty good. It would have been even better if I didn't mess up that one room with the hammers in it. Oh, that killed Luigi. I didn't want that to happen. So right here, giant deep end, he's gonna shoot water at both Luigi and Luigi. Doesn't really do much to Luigi since, you know, he doesn't die to water. But it does quite a bit to Luigi. And we need to get him all the way onto that side of the room. Turn off the water. Very nice. And you can't see it during that cutscene, but Johnny's too stupid to get himself out of the water, and instead he gets himself stuck in the drain. And that's the end of floor 13. Now we're gonna go ahead and climb up the ladder here, burst away these towels, and make our way through this door. And those towels are exactly why we couldn't go through that door before. Now we got another one of these tongue ghosts over here. I don't remember what they're called. Yeah, we're just gonna pull them away, or else they're just gonna grab Luigi with his tongue. And once again, one more time, with everybody's favorite part of the game, Polter Kitty 2 coming up. Thankfully for the last time.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh. Ah. No, you're nice, kitty.
Polterpup just wanted to play with the kitty. And I'm gonna go ahead and make my way to the left here, because I know exactly where Polterkitty is gonna make her way to. She's gonna be into the shower room. Going to burst here because she's in that laundry basket there, which opens it up, and then I can immediately just run straight through. Now she's hiding in the punching bag there. Shoot a glove at it, and she pops right out. Now I'm gonna walk over to the left here to grab these two goobs. Go ahead and slam on the hammer here. Oh my goodness, that was really good. It's crazy how some things are going so well and then like others just are going pretty bad. Alright, now Polterkitty's gonna stand up here playing with some sort of like feather or something. And we're gonna go ahead and flash her. Stand about right here. So she jumps down and almost instantly scares Luigi. Flash her with Luigi, which she doesn't notice for some reason. Slam her over to the right side because she's gonna go through the floor over here. So it's best to have her slammed down to where she's gonna exit the room from.
Hello.
All right, now we're gonna make our way back down to floor 12. Fortunately, you cannot pet Polterpup right here, or else I would do it again for you guys. But we can just see him sitting here wagging his tail. Yeah, we're just gonna make our way back through this door coming up over here. And Polterkitty is gonna be hiding in a patch of sand off to the right side. I'm gonna flash her. She's gonna hop up into either the top right or top left tree. Thankfully, it was the top right. You always want her to jump up there. Oh, that's unfortunate. She knocked Luigi off to the side. Oh, that's really bad. Keeps knocking Luigi off to the side, causing him to bounce around, and then Polterkitty gets scared by it and hops into the other tree. Hey, I promise, Luigi takes care of his pets. Polterpup's his dog. He takes care of him. This is the cat's fault for stealing the button. And now we have to go ahead and make our way back down to floor 11, which will be our last encounter with Polterkitty. Oh, shoots. Man, the D-pad on the Switch Pro Controller is so finicky sometimes. I hit left, and then it hits up left. That's about 10 seconds right there. It's okay, though. HD, you know too well about how this D-pad is. Alright, and this is our first and only instance of ghosts actually spawning in the elevator. Hello?
Oh, yeah.
HD is also another runner of this game. Just let me laugh. Alright, buddy. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and make my way up through here after knocking the hat off to Polterkitty. First right here. Then she's hiding in this, magic cut box thing. Smash that. Hopefully keep Luigi up on the stage. Very nice. Right there, she tries to psych you out. And finally, Polterkitty is done for. And I try to keep Luigi up on the stage, just so he can immediately grab the button for me. And that is the last time we're going to be seeing Polterpup 2 until the end of the game.
Oh, yeah. Ha ha. Yeah. Oh.
Alright, coming up, we got floor 14. Dance hall. Last floor for floor 15. Thankfully, this is only a boss fight floor, so it's gonna go by pretty quickly. You know, what kind of hotel doesn't have a dance floor, you know? Alright. Very nice. Next GDQ venue now has to have a dance floor. I mean, do you really want to see us all singing and dancing? I know I don't. Alright. Now we have, honestly, one of my least favorite fights, casually. Also, these ghosts are gonna dab on us. So one of them has the elevator button. Gonna go ahead and burst. Watch very carefully for this guy to hold it. And I'm gonna burst away all the other ghosts, just so I can keep my eyes peeled for which one actually has it, which is this one right here. I'm gonna flash, or I'm gonna burst, flash, burst again. Then I'm gonna start sucking her up. Which, just like Clem, it's gonna allow us to get a re-grab on her. Good fight. Nice job. I walked around the button by accident. That's okay, then. Two words, hard liquor. All right, well, it's the end of floor 14. I'm gonna go ahead and do the flash and pull strat once more. I actually did not mean to grab those guys like that. That's okay. Still worked out. Take it.
Hello.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
And due to the crash before, I think this is gonna go a little bit over estimate.
Oh, yeah.
By about 2 or 3 minutes, unfortunately. Which is fine. It's not a big deal.
Wow.
All right, and you may notice that starting out here, this floor is going to be very, very, very King Boo themed. Helen is a little bit stir crazy about King Boo, to say the least. You know what? More like obsessed. Let's go with that. She's kind of obsessed with him, to be blunt. 'Cause everything on this floor is King Boo themed. So our main objective here is to go through all 4 of these rooms to get each of the keys to unlock the big door where Helen is currently at. So then we can go ahead and fight her and make our way to the roof to fight King Boo. Okay, go down there with Luigi. So then we can just walk over to the key with Luigi, which is all the way at the top here, as you guys can see.
Oh, yeah.
And there actually is a specific room order that I'm going to be going in, because for each room that you go in a different order, it's actually going to spawn in different ghosts. Right there, I actually did do what I wanted to do, and I spawned in I grabbed the Oozer through the wall, which skips out on having to catch the one all the way at the top of the room. Which does save some time there. Not a significant amount, but it does save some. Once again, just gonna hold out the plunger to skip the animation. And I'm gonna use the dark light through the wall here, because it's going to reveal a hidden door. Go through here. And I'm gonna go ahead and blow on this fan. While that's being blown, I'm gonna push Luigi up here. I'm gonna stop, walk down, pull on the switch. And I'm gonna go ahead and start pulling on this. Which, once again, turns off some lasers that were protecting the key. This green one right here.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, like I said earlier, depending on which order you tackle the rooms at, it's going to spawn different waves of ghosts in. So we're doing the most optimal ones. Pulling those orbs there. Now, I am purposely just going to take damage off of all these lasers, because it's better instead of just waiting for them to make their way through and then burst over them as the time comes. Now, you do have to hear a little bit of stupid beeping for a little bit, but it won't be for too long. Because for whatever reason, they made the health sound in this game the most irritating thing that your ears could ever hear.
Oh, yeah. Ha. Oh my.
I honestly do not know what they were thinking. And I'm gonna go ahead and walk right on up here, which is gonna spawn the rest of the ghosts. Grab this guy, and I am hopefully going to slam him into the majority of these guys here. That was very good. Oh, I missed one. Depth perception is a little wonky here. Gonna walk around this way because there is another laser that we just can't see. If you burst, you can actually see the lasers, but I'm opting not to do that because I don't need to. And they spawn in anyway. And the scale is honestly one of the most wonky things in this entire game. Not a fan of it. I'm gonna spawn Luigi on it, so it goes all the way up into the air, and then comes down at a perfect time for me. That way I can just run straight onto it, let it carry me up. Oh, I didn't walk onto it quick enough. You know what? It's fine. It still worked. Feel good. Now, hopefully, if my seed is good enough, this is going to be the last Luigi push that I am doing. It's going to skip the last gauntlet of Ghost here. But with the game crashing, I have no idea if this is actually going to work or not. It did. Oh my god, that actually worked. I got a perfect seed the second time around. Let's go. Good stuff. Very, very good. seed god.
Oh-ho.
It is me.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
We need to watch this stupid cutscene here of Luigi just putting the keys into this giant King Boo-shaped lock and door. Where does he keep those keys? The same place that Link keeps all of his items in all the various Zelda games.
Hello.
And this is Helen. She is one of the main antagonists in this game that you really don't see if you're watching a speedrun of the game. I'm gonna go ahead and place Luigi down there. Have him disable some of these lasers. I'm able to make my way over to Helen. I'm gonna slam once I have her at 520. Get her a little bit under 400. And this fight is a little bit rinse and repeat, just like some of them are. You know what? It's okay. I'll still fuck up. Or you can still mess up some stuff. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Whatever. Don't acknowledge it. And we're just gonna be dodging these lasers for a little bit here. While she just laughs at us. I'm gonna go ahead and once more pull down these switches here. Flash her so she's aggroed and comes towards us. Re-grab her. Very good. Yo, thank you, Crutchy. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad I've been able to provide a good run for you guys. Even if I've been messing up some stuff, it's still been a good run. I can't really complain about it. Game crashing was kind of unfortunate, but, you know, it happens. Alright, and then on her last attack here, she's just gonna make her way over to you eventually. Or on her own, not eventually. Not really sure why. And that's the end of it. Now we just have the king. No, we just have the king. No, we just have to fight King Boo. First, we gotta save our boy Mario. Our bro. And like I said, due to that crash, this is going to go a little bit over estimate, unfortunately. But it should only go about 2 to 4 minutes over estimate, if I'm timing this correctly.
Hey, come on. Luigi, let's go.
But now Mario's kind of rushing us to the top of the hotel, because that's where Peach is being kept at. Now there is another Luigi push that I can do here to skip Mario. but there is a potential of soft locking if you're not careful, and I'd prefer to not have that happen. We can just have Mario show himself off right now.
Wow. Oh, no.
It skips that whole animation of him going all the way up to the top of the tower. Along with, if you get a really good Luigi push and have Luigi fling all the way off to the side of the tower, it can skip him from having to climb all of the top of this. Because it'll just put him pretty much at the very top of the tower. And this is King Boo. In that cutscene there, that I skipped, King Boo actually put all the characters, including IckaAid and the Toads, into that painting. Yeah, you miss out on a lot of story stuff when you skip out these cutscenes, but it's whatever. We're about going fast here. Now, during some of these attacks, I am going to purposefully get hit, just because it's going to speed up his attacks. If you get hit, then he's going to move on to his next attack. Right here, I'm going to get hit by this fireball. He'll stop attacking, then he'll move on to the next one. Then I'm going to shoot these bombs into his mouth, make him explode, and then he's going to come down, and we're going to fling him across the hotel tower using Luigi and Luigi. Beating him down so hard that it cracks the top of the hotel. Gonna get hit by that attack too. I don't know why that one attacked again. That was kind of weird. Gonna get hit by these fireballs once more. Some of these attacks actually don't advance if you get hit, like this one where he uses his tongue. It doesn't advance him forward at all. Alright, so once more we're going to go ahead and shoot the bomb into the real King Boo's mouth. Very nice. All right, and we're nearly done.
Are you? Oh.
All right, last phase. It's timed. It's not going to take me nearly as long as it gives you. I'm going to get hit on this right here, and the bomb rain is going to come down where he's going to rain down so many bombs on us. I'm going to try to catch one and shoot it into his mouth. Just like that. And time is going to come up in exactly 20 seconds from now. So this is going to be a what is it? It's going to be 2:45:17. Time is going to be when it fades to black when I collect the crown. Time. And that's Luigi's Mansion 3. 80%.
Wow, just underestimated by 1 second. Imagine that.
What was that?
Just underestimated by 1 second. Imagine that.
I blame the crash.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate, but
It was.
you did get lucky after, so.
Yeah, I definitely did. Very lucky, or else that could have been significantly worse. GG's though. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. If people want to find you, where can they? Just post your chat.
Yeah, they can find me right there on twitch.tv Monado. I actually don't really run this game much anymore, but it's still nice to run occasionally. I primarily focus on Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door now, but to shout out the community a lot, I definitely recommend following Grove Ether. He is honestly one of the best runners of this game that I can think of. Can I plug a link if you mind?
If you DM it to me, I can. I don't think links are enabled for regular chatters.
Okay, I gotcha. He is hands down one of the nicest and best runners of this game, and I can strongly agree watching him. If you go into his chat, you're not going to be disappointed with him or his runs. And shout outs to the community for finding a lot of stuff in this game in the past couple of months. Like, we've brought down so much time in this game due to skips and stuff that have just been found miraculously. Especially Rubbertoe, 64. He found a lot in this game as well. He found out all of Luigi pushing in himself, pretty much. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, thanks so much. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. English is not my first language.
No problem. Thank you for having me again. Have a good rest of the marathon.